play out that way, as we do have game number 1 officially underway between Team Liquid and Shopify Rebellion. My main concern is certainly the safe lane of Shopify. Like, that Slaughter vs CK is not going to be very fun, I don't think. A lot of pressure on Kitrak to ensure that this Chaos Knight can actually just hit some creeps. Should mention as well, by the way, the game that they did lose with Chaos Knight yesterday was to a Leshrac. So there you go.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so much clear. I don't know how well of a game Arteezy will have. He has to be pretty ahead coming out. I think if they can play with that tempo, can work. The level 1 engage of Liquid is really terrifying as well, but no one's biting the bait from Shopify so far. Unless someone suddenly just walks up, but they do have a ward and the Watcher, so should be safe breaking that smoke if they want to.
It's going to be a rather large wraparound here. Boxy looking for an opportunity to get a shards off. Is going to have his smoke broken, but Shopify Rebellion are going to be able to retreat quite successfully. No first blood to be drawn from either side, and it's going to be a nice even trade for Bounty Runes, 2 for 2. And of course, we'll start off with the mid lane, John, the one we've been talking about quite a lot. Of course, it is going to be Yopaj on the mid sniper against Nisha on the mid Leshrac. I don't know what to expect here. I think I'm just going to kind of wait and see how this does go. I still want to say that Yopaj should have a slight advantage, but it does seem like it could go either way.
Yeah, I mean, you can play this lane pretty nicely. You have a decent enough range advantage once you have points in to take aim. I don't think Nisha's going to be left out too bad. Does have Lightning Storm to play with as long as he has rune control. Water Rune's going to be bigger for him than it is for the sniper. He should be relatively fine. We'll see. Going to be interesting to see whether or not that focus is going to be on mid. I feel like a rotation out from Boxy early on, maybe by the 4 to 6 minute mark. This sniper is going to be a real easy target to go for. That's the one concern. Like, Leshrac +1 is just going to run this down if they can get the room out in the side lanes. It all kind of hinges on these side lanes just being stable enough that the supports can abandon them for a moment to help mid.
Bottom lane, of course, you're going to have Insania and Mickey playing up against Saberlight and Theolacore. A lot of kill potential here from the side of Liquid, I want to say, but it kind of goes the other way as well for Shopify. If there was to be a first blood being drawn, it's definitely looking like it's probably going to be the side lanes, and well, either side lane looks very, very aggressive, but I want to say the bottom lane is arguably where the most damage could happen.
Yeah, there's a lot of just raw output here. Insania's doing a great job just zoning out, securing creeps as much as he can. You've got really good nuking spells from afar for the side of Liquid. Just the Purifying Flames, Fortune Sand, and the Lucent Beam can help to run down. Theolacore has to be a little bit careful. It's not the easiest one to line up for the Thunderclap Cinderbrew, unless Mickey oversteps. But again, he has a lot of saves. He's not too concerned about trading blows early on. Saberlight does go for the Drunken Brawler. Wondering if he's going to fully prioritize it, just to focus on that CS and a little bit of right-click harassment or too close. Seeing a few blows onto Yopaj on the mid lane, and level 2 on the Lightning Storm. And Nisha is managing the lane quite nicely. He is lagging a little bit behind, but honestly, considering this a sniper lane, I wouldn't say this is too bad for the Lesh. It's still in workable condition.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing to write home about for either side quite yet. The level 3 marks in these side lanes, I think, is where the action will start to begin as well, right? Like, especially that bottom lane, we already talked about it, but the level 3 marks for pretty much every hero at this bottom lane is just absolutely massive. We'll see who does kind of go first. The Saberlight, you kind of asked the question as well, does he go for the point in Cinderbrew, or is he going to just max out Drunken Brawler or Thunderclap? And I would like to see 1 point in Cinderbrew at the least, especially if you are proving to want to be a little bit more aggressive, but maybe he already assumes that the lane could be quite defensive on his end of things, as they are going to go now. Theolacore will cop the root out from Insania. The runaway is there, but they will have a Lucent Beam in 1. Sadly though, Mickey, he hits level 2 now, or rather level 3, but does go for the second point in Lunar Bliss. Meanwhile, mid lane, Yopa, he's alright. Nisha though, looking to get rather aggressive on the Leshrac, and Yopaj's going to be very, very cautious. The Lightning Storm will connect, 1 more will do it, but he's lost vision. Yopaj though, he's so unhealthy right now in the HP department. He's got no regen either apart from 1 Fairy Fire and 1 Stick Charge. How do you play this lane now?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. You have had that sustained for Nisha.
Oh, he couldn't get in range for the lightning storm.
Yeah, just a little bit too far out, but this is already a good state for Nisha. Again, he's had first rune control was pretty good. They've got rune control again for the water. No one's coming out to deny. Yopaj might still be able to grab his own. He'll have a little bit to play with, but as long as there's mana for Nisha, again, going for the lightning storm build, it's not the best of times for Yopaj. It doesn't even need a +1. We were talking about rotations out from like Tusk, but there's no need for Boxy to even make his way down there just yet. Opening up the possibility at 6 minutes with a few more levels is massive here.
Top lane, Arteezy. Oh, that's a very nice shot from Boxy. Locking him in by the tier 1 tower. 33 is going to move back in, but we'll get the stun here from Arteezy. It looks like that's going to be about it. They won't go too much further. So 33 has opted to just kind of go for the 2 points in Slitherine Crush as well. So not opting to max the Bash to the Deep quite yet. And it doesn't really seem like he's been able to abuse it too much anyway against Kit Rack's Enchantress. So it's like he would rather just go for the extra points in the stun.
Yeah, just have a little bit more clear, a little bit more safer poke onto that CK. It is pretty scary once they can gap close. I'm surprised there's no value point in maybe Guardian Sprint. Level 4, he does have that point up now, so the chase down can commence. Boxy fishing for an angle. And they could still take care of Artur at this point. Like, the CK is pretty tanky, 1000 HP, Bracer and Belt of Strength up. But, again, you can't underestimate just the sheer physical output right now on the side of Liquid top, and they don't quite have the Nature's Attendance just yet. There's a 10-second window here. They could get some things going on the unpause.
They could try. We're having a look at some fantastic imagery here in the mid lane. I believe that is a duck target being exploded here by Yopaj.
Yes.
How do you feel like Yopaj feels about this mid sniper pickup? Like, I know you and I know know the young man very well. It really doesn't feel like his kind of hero. It just really doesn't.
If you get something like a Blink Dagger, I guess it can feel like a hero he'd play, but I don't know if you'd want that.
Boxy. Be a bit of a snowball out into the CK. Shards will land as well. He is a very high HP, high armor hero here on Arteezy, so he can tank through a lot of damage. Boxy's going to keep trying to go, so will 33. They'll cancel the TP that was incoming, and now Kit Rack, he kind of blocks the way. He helps Liquid block Arteezy in. And Kit Rack, he is not looking to make it out either, as they do land the stuns. And Kit Rack will be the second to fall. As Boxy looking to die, but 33 will not allow it. Finally letting him go down. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a bit of a chase onto Saberlight, but it looks like Saberlight's going to be just fine. Still, a double kill up at that top lane. Already concerning signs here for the side of Shopify Rebellion.
It's just that physical output. Tag team plus the bash, plus the Slitherine Crush is a lot kind of contend with here for Shopify. Cancel TP as well, just not making matters any simpler. That does at least allow a bit of a reset as well for Nisha onto mid.
They're going to fight over those 6-minute power runes. Nisha is being chased down here by Yopaj, but they don't really have the damage nor the control. Nice slows onto Nisha, but it really means nothing in here. Saberlight.
Great block. Oh.
Bottom lane taking a fair bit of damage on the way out, but is still going to be okay.
This is one thing I want to ask myself, you know, is our Oracle, is Insania actually going to try to go for Phylactery? I mean, it sounds pretty bad, but, you know, it's the funny way. It's the fun way to play Oracle. I'm sure Insania would love to be able to do so.
He definitely will. I think Thea Lacour, because Thea Lacour is, he could really abuse it, right? But I don't think Insania will. As sad as
it's so funny if the Oracle has it. Oh.
It is.
Yeah, Insania's too smart for that. It's probably not going to do it. But if he does, then you know he's having fun. We'll see. Probably not.
He's either too smart or not smart enough, John. You know, there's no real in between.
No. Still, really solid back and forth start already. Liquid, again, coming out ahead with those 2 kills up top here. Coming out for 33, but Shopify is not too far behind in terms of just controlling their lanes. They're coming out on top still with a farm coming out for Artur. About to hit that level 6, can start to clear out even faster.
Chase is on for the Luna. Problem is Insania is right behind them to just kind of abuse the Fortune's End and purge off everything. I suppose that was the real reason that, you know, Saberlight only goes for the 1 value point in Cinderbrew is, of course, Insania will always be there to purge it off with the Fortune's End. Doesn't actually go for any points into Fate's Edict, just seeing the maximum value in the Fortunes in this game, and it does really feel that way anyway. Like, there's plenty of spells to purge off.
There's a lot of great saves for Insania just to cut off some of that DPS and control. Not the easiest time for the side of Shopify to kind of play into that in the bot lane, and it's giving such a free lane for Mika. Does have level 5, the Glaive's up. They
found
catch out Yopaj.
They've got him for a moment. Lift back from Theolacor onto Insania, and they are going to retreat. They did not want to make their way up to that little high ground, as they are going to find a nice double a damage amp rune here for Yopaj. He'll take that happily.
Structures are fortified.
Meanwhile, Arteezy's actually TPing into the mid lane. They want to try and get aggressive this early on. Nisha's going to see him, but where's the setup? Arteezy, he's still rushing towards him. He really wants this attempt. There's the tips out from Nisha. I believe it was actually Theolacor that messed up. I believe they were waiting for the Rubik to go for the lift, but it never came. In fact, never mind, lift was on cooldown at the time. It was Arteezy.
Yeah. I mean, it was just a little bit too keen as well. Like, there was already enough space there for Nisha to just back off completely. They do manage to find a mid-tier one off the back of it, so they still somewhat worthwhile down bot, though.
We'll split this out. Mickey taking a fair bit of damage. We've seen this quite a bit from Sableye, just getting in as soon as he hits that level 6 mark. And that'll be Mickey going down as now Insania. On the run, but surely has no way out. But he will try for Sableye's life. One more Purifying Flames, but oh, he loses vision. And now Sableye coming back into vision just to show him that he was not afraid at all. With that, another double kill set up here for Yopaj off the back of Sableye. And it's kind of a thing with Brewmaster. As soon as you hit level 6, you can basically just kill anyone you want.
Yeah, really easy rundown. Really great opportunity to be spotted there by Shopify. Knowing that there was some commitment onto the mid, they couldn't really regroup and try to save bot after being left solo for so long. I'm a little bit curious about Yopaj not going for the assassin. I suppose they feel like they don't need that point burst. They just need him to stand his ground, play around with the early strength of Shrapnel, try to get some headshots in, can go from there. You can see what Yopaj does build up into. He is going for the standard Dragonlance, maybe into Hurricane Pike early to save from the jump in. But after that is, again, it's still fairly open for the sniper to kind of pick and choose what he wants to play with. Sableye still being annoying down bot. I mean, they still have that bot tier 1 they're hanging on to here on Liquid. Shopify not in a position to try to push in, but they're getting a lot of room out for Arteezy to just farm. Like, he's got full control up top despite losing his tier 1. No one's making their way down there. They're still focused on Sableye.
They sure... Oh, they missed the stun. 33. A very rare mistake out from the Slaughter, just not within range to land the stun, and well, Sableye will let him know about it.
Yeah, it's the Storm Brawler form. It's just way too much when you Cinder Brood up. So much move speed. Nisha.
Caught out. Very nice setup here from the side of Shopify Rebellion, seeing that he was left alone. The mid lane was undefended, so they will be able to secure both the mid-tier 1 tower and Nisha's life. And now they just roam the map. Down towards the Radiant Jungle they go. Yopaj will take over that area of the map. You know what? With the way things are going, I gotta tell you, Shopify, they are looking very strong at the moment. I thought their laning stage would go a lot worse than it actually did.
Yeah, they managed to come out on top quite nicely. I think it just comes back down to maybe not pressuring mid hard enough for the side of Liquid, not able to really leave those side lanes as well. Like, they applied pressure on the sniper before any of the bigger levels came up, capitalize on the Leshrac and the gap close you have with your Tusk. You might have been able to pin down Yopaj, feed off of that sniper a lot more, as we've seen in some of our slower sniper games. We'll go out for a smoke now with the 2 supports hanging behind Nisha. See if they can find something. They do just freely give bot to Saberlight, and this guy's just having a free ride into that Radiance that we know he likes to build. Timing is looking to be on point here.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
This rune going to be used as bait. Nisha, he'll break his smoke onto Theolacor. Kidrak did get spotted for a second, but they're not confident that they can actually deal with him quick enough. In fact, Kidrak's just keeping up vision for his team to back him up. And Liquid, they are very well aware of it. They just look to retreat, assassinate out on Boxy, will keep up the vision. Sableye doesn't really hit with the Cinder Brew anyway, so Boxy's going to be fine. And that's about it. But you can see Shopify, they understand they are the stronger team at the moment. And they certainly want to fight. Especially if Kitrak's the one on the front lines. Once again, I mean, Liquid trying their best to set up a nice gank attempt, but nothing will come out of it.
Yeah, it's starting to really hurt. That's that early set times you'd want to meet with your Lesh. Nisha's not been able to pressure a tower. He's not able to just camp around with the Edict post-fight to just take a tier 1. With a mid still standing, it's really hard to cross that river at this point. They are getting a lot of free room out for Mike and 33 as well. And they've got that Blink Dagger up in the slaughter now, so they've got a little bit less pressure on Boxy to keep landing like the snowballs you can initiate with 33. The issue is finding that angle, finding that backline. Right, you don't want to jump the Brewmaster or the CK. They are a little bit tanky, although I suppose Saberlight isn't that bad to jump into if you manage to chain stun him. But you do want something like Yopaj in the back, just punishing something like that squishy sniper, which again, you've got the Tusk, you've got the Slaughter with a Blink. That's really what your draft is geared towards. We'll see again, another smoke out here with a Blink.
They're going to go to crack. And Kitrak's the one showing in the mid lane at the moment. Yopaj right behind him. Let's see Kitrak, they'll make the jump in with 33, but it's going to be a hard kill. In fact, look, he got the healing off just beforehand to boot, but they will finally take him down. Problem is, Saberlight now is here to try and trade, and it seems as though they are going to at least find Boxy. And in fact, they'll even find Insania on top. Make that a third as well, because Nisha is gone. Arteezy will take him down. And Insania, well, trying for the haste screw, not going to find it. Yopaj will deny it right in front of his face. And that's 3 down for the price of 1. Kitrak baiting perfectly for his team. I mean, you knew it was a bait as well. He got his Nature's Attendance off. He got his Seeds of Serenity off. And it's just such a great bait. It's like 3 for nothing, basically.
And they're under heavy pressure on Liquid to try to capitalize on these timings because they know they're losing a little bit too much ground in terms of farm. Like, CK farms so effectively, you need to punish these other cores that show up. You have to take what you can get, try to snowball off the back of that, but Enchantress is just not an easy target. They're not able to follow through with a Bash of the Deep because of that untouchable. Now that's the bread and butter of Slaughter, to follow up from the Slithery Crush to get the chain stuns off. It's just not enough, even with the punch and the snowball with a crush. You need some of those bashes to come in. And you also weren't quite in the best of range to maximize the output on Nisha as well with magic damage to instantly burst, giving a good opportunity for Shopify back. Like, every single time they're taking these fights on Liquid without spotting the backline, without being sure where Yopaj is or whether or not Saberlight can kind of show up with his split, it gets really dicey really fast. Like, you cannot underestimate the early output of Sniper. Even though, it's a funny hero. It plinks away with something that looks like a BB gun, but you give him enough time and space, pops that take aim on, it's not a laughing matter to get those ducks quacking over your head.
Absolutely not. Kitrak, he's going to find Boxy. Again, you see Kitrak, it's just not the target you want. The man is just too tanky as a support and even has a 4-staff already up. They're looking for a defense up at top lane. Arteezy staring down 33. They've got Yopaj making his appearance as well, but nobody really showing on the lane yet. Arteezy, he'll get underneath the vision now of the Radiant, but does get a D-ward off. Very, very nice.
Are scanning.
And with that, Team Liquid, they will get nothing for these rotations up towards the top lane. So they will just continue to go back to the drawing board and continue farming up. And throughout all of this, by the way, John, Mike is still relatively behind Arteezy. You know, considering he is playing Luna, still about a K behind.
Yeah, it's not to be, that's not really unexpected. I'd say a CK spamming Phantasm can be just as effective, if not a little bit more, than the Luna because of how well he can also join these early fights. Artur though?
33, yeah, he's been caught up at that top lane. They will use the false promise to try and save Insania, who'll go for the TP out immediately and does make it. The Lacour barely missing out on seeing 33, sadly, so 33 is actually going to make his way out just fine.
Yeah. And they managed to bail out, but they're not finding anything for their trouble. And they're not able to really capitalize on 33 just yet. He's trying to work onto his Ags now. They've got this Kai already up, trying to go for the Bloodstone on Nisha. And these are tools that will help, but I'd say the big one right now is maybe a Blink for Boxy. Just having these 2 ways of starting these fights, giving you more options, more angles, more ways to hold back in the chain control if you can just burst one down, save the next bit of control for, say, the Brewmaster before he splits, the Sniper if he presents himself. Should simplify the game for you here on Liquid. Still, Shopify for their part, 3-7, 4K lead up. still a great time for Artesian farm. Again, using those Phantasm illusions really well. They're using the map space they have control of really nicely as well. Like, the vision they have set up just ensures that they're really safe in wherever they're farming. Liquid, they've got one piece of forward vision left. One just kind of watching this area by the tier 1 to spot TPs and jukes, but it's not really info they can use to hunt. And now Roche open for Shopify. It's not going to take long with the output here.
Absolutely not. They'll make their move in. Question is, does Liquid try to contest? And the answer seems to be no, because they probably don't have any idea it's actually happening. Pings are coming out towards the bottom tier 1 tower. Now the scan is there onto the Roshan pit, so now they are officially aware that Roshan is indeed happening for Shopify Rebellion. They will take the time to push the bottom tier 1 tower out while they still have a chance. But an immediate smoke from Shopify. Twin gate usage is there, and they're going to run right into Mickey if he's not too careful. Mickey does scout out the usage of the twin gates with the Manta illusions, and it seems that that's going to be enough. In fact, Kitrak, once again getting away from 33, that the snowball is going to be onto the high ground. Kitrak will finally go down. In comes Arteezy. He'll move on to Boxy and just take down the Tusk immediately. No messing around. They'll find a quick trade. And it's still in the favor of Shopify Rebellion.
And it's still a net gain for Liquid in terms of just net worth from trading that way, with them being so far behind. And that does lead to a little bit faster if a blink for Boxy still. Like, you still have a lot of tools on Shopify. You don't really expend too much there at all. In fact, as long as you have Primal Split, you're happy here on Shopify with these trades. Still have that option left for Saberlight. He's got the Radiance up. He's going for the Shard to increase that duration. And have the cancel option just in case it melts to the Lesh or the Glaives bouncing around potentially from Mikke. But they can just set up for more pushes. Like, they've got the output. They've got this really strong Orchid on Arteezy to help just chain control someone down, melt them 100 to 0 real quick. And Liquid, I mean, they have some saves for that. Again, there's Snowball, there's the Fortune's End, kind of stall things out. It just doesn't feel like they can start these fights on Liquid. They're trying. It's not from a lack of trying. They've been trying. It's just they're not finding the targets.
Line's been drawn right towards Mickey up at that top lane as well, John.
Oof.
They know exactly where he is by the looks of it. Even 33's right around the corner. Well, Mickey going back towards the top lane to boot. Are they nearby yet? It doesn't seem like a Shopify. They actually kind of leave Arteezy to go back. So maybe not 100% knowing that he was there. But Theodore at least going to find 33. So they have found themselves an offlane Slaughter. 33 has no help incoming. So he is gone. He will tank the gank for his carry at the very least, so that you do get Mickey out of there, but you don't really want your position 3 scouting out these ganks.
No. It's still better than your pause 1 dying in the overall picture of things, so you'll have to just take it. But again, Shopify, they're just choking out the side of Liquid right now. They've got so much reach. They've got kind of a really great front line with Arteezy and that CK. It's really all you want when you're playing with a sniper mid. Just someone to start these fights for you, allow it to just clean up from the back. Again, they're not able to find his backline, which I figured Liquid could.
Well, maybe
it's
now.
just not presenting itself.
Maybe now, though, John. Boxy's making his move up. They want to try and find her against Arteezy, but the Orca does make him kind of hard. Still, he'll go for a snowball, hitting 3 targets with the stun out. Arteezy, he's got the Aegis up, so he's going to keep manning up here up against Team Liquid, but it's looking pretty rough for him. He will at least go down the first time. Do they back him up? Arteezy's in the middle of nowhere right now. The answer is just no. They could not get there in time to help out the CK. And so Team Liquid, they will be gifted a very important couple of kills. As it seems like even Saberlight now going to get caught. But does have the Primal Split, so he'll pop that. He'll try to go after 33, but realizes he cannot solo the Slaughter anymore. And Team Liquid again, I mean, they're still on the chase. They still want to try for that Brewmaster. But it doesn't seem like they can really keep up.
You need the 2 frontliners up there in these full team fights. There's only so much Yopaj can do with his BB gun from the back. And he's there to help clean up, there to soften them up, but not to help with counter control at all. That's going to be on Saberlight. So a big swing back for Liquid. They find their Tormentor off the back of that as well, getting a decent one coming out for Insania with a Reign of Destiny, just a little bit more healing coming out. Quite a fair bit of healing if you maximize that amplification as well. And the net worth does even out a lot more. 6 to 9, 2k lead up for Shopify, which is not too significant to 23 minutes in. Mike managing to catch up at a really good pace with that Luna. Again, he's had a lot of space to just farm up. It's been basically 33 and Nisha kind of trying to work out the lanes. He's had free access to the safer parts of the jungle. And this recovery for the Luna is going to do a ton of work. Once he has that shard up, he's not going to be scared of the CK jumping in at all. As long as those Glaives actives are still available, melting down the Luna with a backup of the Oracle, it doesn't feel like it's going to be the fastest thing in the world. Heck, even jumping Nisha now with Bloodstone up, I don't think you have enough burst to take care of these heroes at this point now, considering all the saves and all the sustain they have to play with those saves on the side of Liquid.
Yeah. Still 4k ahead is Shopify Rebellion. But things are getting closer and closer between these two teams.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Shout out to the F10K betters, by the way, as well, John. They're having a bit of a rough night already. 24 minutes in. No 10
I
kills
love that.
yet. But we have a very nice scoreline at the very least, so
Radiant are
you know you get something for your trouble.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Can you imagine if Liquid takes it? Oh,
Radiant's top tower is
the
under
mauled
attack.
would be beautiful. So there's always that. At least it's not 40 minutes in, Mike.
Yeah.
We've had those circumstances in Southeast Asia.
We certainly
Thank you,
have.
Talon and Polaris. All the way back.
Don't remind me. That's a horrible, horrible times. There's going to be a big smoke up, John. They've got the Aghanim Scepter of 33 now, so a huge power spike for the Slaughter. They'll make their move in. They seem to have seen Kitrak there for a second. Still looking for a target. Smoke will be broken. 33, though, misses the initial stun, and now Thealacor looking to try and turn this one around. Will start to move in along with Saberlight. They found Mike first.
Mike?
The Luna, she's the big target. Already being targeted with Saberlight.
Saberlight.
Needs to get back together. He just took way too much damage. He's got no primal split left. Saberlight's still running. Nisha unable to finish the job, but now 33. He found a 4-man stun. Oh, what a setup from 33. You missed the first one, but there was no way in hell he was missing the second. Arteezy's been caught to boot. On the high ground, still trying to survive, but the chase is continuing. Can he make it out? The answer is no. An ultra kill for Mike. And what a fight for Team Liquid.
And it just goes back to sustain, right? It goes back to that lack of burst for the side of Shopify. They can take care of these pickoffs nicely when it comes down to the clump up from Team Liquid at this point. Like, they've got this backline Oracle that no one is jumping in from the side of Shopify. They have to take care of this frontline initiation that 33 and Nisha have the confidence to apply now, considering that they've hit their spikes. That added regen you get, the Guardian Sprint, and a wider pool that you're still being crushed provides just so much to keep 33 alive throughout without anything defensive. He has no BKB, he doesn't need anything like that. And Nisha with Bloodstone is just so damn durable as well. You saw how fast Saberlight lost those Brewlings in the split. Like, there's, again, it's just down to this draft. Right? AoE damage on Lesh, you've got the Glaives bouncing around from Mike, which is also why it's surprising that CK was the pick here for the side of Shopify. They play around the early Orchid well, but it's at this point in the game where it's a little bit scary. Like, all of this AoE burn, all of this sustain, limited jump potential for Shopify Rebellion, it feels like there's a lot of pressure on Saberlight. Right, he's trying to go into the Manta, into that Blink. This is necessary for Shopify to start taking these fights now. They need to find a way to jump into the back. They have to take care of Insania as well.
33, cheeky little jump onto Arteezy, but does back his way out. I mean, the shards up as well on 33 makes it really hard, because that 4-man stun he got, that applied 4 corrosive hazes, you know? With a Luna, that is not what you want. And, well, 33, if he lands these Ravages, you know, with a Luna on top, with all that minus armor, it's... You basically just get wiped in a couple hits. It's pretty damn rough.
It is. Just so much output right now. Again, this investment to allow Mika to just free farm this entire time when they play as 3 or 4 has paid off massively for Liquid. They find a tier 2 for the trouble. High ground is a reality, but Roshan is available as well. With that Corrosive Haze and tag team, it's not going to take long for Liquid to wipe this one off the map. Shopify are in no position to really fight into that tight, confined area. See how much Liquid can do with this Aegis. Shopify, I don't know where you go from here. Like, Gilpaj is going up, going back for the Maelstrom into the Mjolnir, trying to get some damage going that way. Artur is just trying to tank up with a heart. It just really feels like it's down to Saberlight getting this blink up. Like, he has to be able to counteract this movement in from Liquid. He has to find that backline somehow.
Twin gate usage right down towards the bottom lane. Seems like Team Liquid have already decided which way they want to go. The Shopify Rebellion 2k behind now, but it's really the big Luna you've got to worry about. Mickey really starting to overtake in terms of the net worth department. We'll have the Kanda up very, very soon. In fact, it's on the way as we speak. In 33, just one big multi-man stun is all they need to completely wipe Shopify, really. Shopify Rebellion obviously looking to sit back and relax for a little bit. Kind of get a little bit more tanky here on Arteezy before they get going again.
Radiant are scanning.
Bit more damage to come out onto Yopaj as well. Bit of a shame for Saberlight to boot, right? Because Saberlight, that last primal split we saw in that team fight, it just got absolutely destroyed within like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You just don't want to see that happen if you're a Brewmaster.
It's the same issue coming down to it, right? Like, it's the Slithering Crush onto all the Brewlings and then all the Glaives bouncing around. It's just, there's not much you can really do about that if you're Saberlight. Maybe an AC can help the cause mildly, but it's not going to be nearly enough. And no, I'm just trying to think of ways for Shopify to take these fights. They have to be able to split up Liquid. If they can isolate Liquid one by one, the game becomes a lot easier for them, but there's just no seeing this split up anymore.
Now onto the T3 tower they go. Team Liquid again feeling very confident to just try and go for this immediately, though Kidrak is scaring them off just a little bit. He does have a Grove Bow plus the Hurricane Pike, so plenty of range here on the edge. And they actually do back off just based off the edge hitting them. They just do not feel like they want to stick around and risk it. Already plenty of damage being dealt anyway to that tier 3 bottom tower. And instead they'll go ahead and address the side lanes that were being forced in here from Shopify Rebellion. So still a very close game between these two teams. However, Dota Plus currently 79% the way of Team Liquid. So net worth wise very even, win probability wise not so much.
I'd agree with those odds. I think you had this really good window for Shopify Rebellion, but it does feel like they kind of let go of that. A couple of bad fights. Like, the windows kind of shifted back onto the side of Liquid. And this is where their scaling really kicks in, right? Leshrac late game is still really damn scary. You've got the Shivas coming out for Nisha next. Mika going just for the full Satanic into the Blink. Probably the Swift Blink upgrade afterwards as well, taking care of that Power Tread slot. Again, it's just... the issue is the backline. With the Blink up on Saberlight, perhaps now you can consider trying to just burst down Insania first somehow. If you can kind of isolate him away from the saves of Boxy as well. But it's easier said than done.
Easy. Caught out. Shards will lock him down for a second, but not for long enough. They do not want to dive that deep. They've got to be a little bit wary as well against the sniper. Going into that high ground attempt. There's a jump in from Saberlight. He's found 4 targets with that Thunderclap. He'll go for the split as well, but all his Brewlings are just melting.
My God.
Saberlight is gone. Saberlight just absolutely annihilated by Team Liquid. He can't jump in on his own like that. It's just too easy.
Yeah, that wasn't the initiation that Shopify needed. It looked like a good opportunity. Artur was a little bit too far. I think if they managed to get the follow-up from the CK as well, maybe that goes a little bit differently. But now the high ground feels a lot comfier for the side of Liquid without worrying about that big teamfight split.
Mickey's still taking a fair bit of damage here, but they are going to make the jump in with
God.
the Eclipse off the back of Boxy. They've got Yopaj and Kidrak. Theolacor will follow very, very soon by the looks of it. A double kill for Mickey. And Team Liquid, they have now taken down 4 out of the 5 Shopify Rebellion heroes, which probably means they're going to find Megas, John. I don't really see how you slow them down.
You're not slowing down this push with a Leshrac Luna. Just not going to be happening anytime soon. Shopify, even when Respawn's coming in, I just don't know what you can do. Like, Artur is going to have have a heart up in 300 gold, great. I don't think the heart saves you. I don't think that's enough HP to play with at all. There's just not enough to counteract the sustain.
It's very desperate times for Shopify Rebellion. This could be the final team fight to come for them. If Team Liquid continue, Sableye, he's going to jump in again, but it's just so much damage being dealt. And they wanted to go for the racks anyway. On they go onto that Luna, but Mickey, he's going to have the false promise to save. Aegis is gone in 5 seconds, so maybe they do have an opportunity to try and find Team Liquid with their pants down, but not quite. Even 33 gets the Wind Waker delivered just as he needs it. Everything goes perfectly for Team Liquid, and they can just back off and reset. The Mega Creeps are going to be incoming.
Yeah. Inside of Shopify, not the easiest lineup to clear out these Mega Creeps safely and try to get something happening on the map. I don't know. What options do you have here? Maybe something like a Divine on Yopaj? It feels like we've kind of gotten to that point for Shopify where you actually have to consider something like the Divine. Maybe in as puppy as this sounds, like a Divine Conda does feel like you need to just play back, try for burst, because your front line's melting. Saberlight's just dying. He still needs his level 20 talent. That helps a ton. But I still feel like just a couple of, or just one Slytherin crush into a couple of glaives bouncing around. Maybe even just a couple of Lucent Beams, and those Brewlings are still dead. So it does feel like you're actually starting to bank on like the potential for the Sniper as a Divine carrier as the game lags on. And you're just nowhere near that kind of gold. You don't have the economy to sustain that build-up for Shopify Rebellion. You don't have the map space to get that build-up. You don't have the vision forward to try to get some map space for yourself even. Liquid, they're just in complete cruise control. They've got the cheese still ready to go on Nisha. They've got the Swift Blink coming out soon here for Mike. They'll try for a smoke out. If this falls flat, then Shopify will have no defense left, even with some buybacks up. They have no buybacks up.
Nothing to speak of here for Shopify Rebellion. Just one last team fight is all they can hope for. Lines are drawn out from Team Liquid. The 5-man smoke has been used. They're going in. They know where they are on the side of Shopify. Far eastern side of the map. They'll rush there immediately. In fact, Team Liquid, they're going to try and hold the high ground of the Dire base and just use it against them. The Course coming back in, but it's a perfect setup here from Team Liquid. They've already found the Rubik. They're in a bit of a tight position, but it won't matter. Nobody's dying from Team Liquid. They're all just surviving, or are they? Boxy, he's getting a little bit lower. They will at least find the Tusk, but it's already cost them too many, I think. They go again. Arteezy's still trying. Does find 33. In fact, does take down the Slaughter, but will die to Mickey. Yopaj also dying as well. GG is called. They've seen enough. That'll be the first game of this 2-game series going the way of Team Liquid. Shopify Rebellion. They had control for the first, say, 30 minutes, but one bad team fight is all it took